All right, in this video I want to talk about something. I hope it doesn't last that long because I'm going to probably be all over the map here and talk about things that I have seen within the last 2 years, and it's a protocol that we are going to change when doing these reviews. And the reason is because the technology is not like it was 10 years, hell, even 5 years ago, the technology when these bat companies are making these bats. So, and let me explain, because a lot of bats are breaking nowadays, are cracking. You know, we're getting seam separation on a lot of bats. I think a lot of bat manufacturers out there are making hotter bats quicker. In other words, hot out of the wrapper to try, because a lot of the older guys, 60, 65, 70, 75-year-old guys, they don't want to sit there and take 400 swings on a bat to try to get it to break in. And they're not around a bunch of people where they can, like we are down here in South Texas, where I can just take that bat and throw it around a bunch of seniors and they're just going to start hitting it. I have the luxury of doing that because I know where everybody hits in San Antonio Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And even when I do the bat reviews, we have people that come out and hit with us. Not a lot, but just a few people that come out and hit with us. And I can sit there and throw that bat out there and say, hey, go ahead and start swinging this. You can hear Billy in a lot of the behind the scenes video. He'll give his bat to Bubba and he'll sit there in the background. He'll count off how many swings Bubba takes on that bat and he goes, okay, give it back. You're done. Because we've been around Bubba long enough where we don't let him swing our personal bats. We'll just let him take 10 swings with our personal bats to get him, and then we'll break him in the rest of the way. Well, with the technology nowadays is I see a trend. I see what's happening. And what I'm talking about, we're going to have to change the protocol on how we do stuff, is a lot of you guys don't understand what goes into cracking a bat, and I think a lot of you guys get upset because you're being questioned on if you crack the bat and you're going to send it back or you keep saying this bat cracked within 200 swings, it's a piece of shit. Well, for one, I just think, because common sense kind of kicks in with me, I think the way these bats are being made nowadays, to try to get them there faster, I think we need to quit thinking the way we thought 5-10 years ago, where we can take a bat out in 55, 60-degree weather and just start hitting it. Okay? Because they didn't care that much about getting the bat there quick. So I think bats are made different nowadays, where you're going to have to start raising that temperature level whenever you hit a bat, because we are. So now when it was 60, we're going to move it up to 70, because we have seen a trend, and the bats that get there quicker are cracking faster. We have got and the reason I'm telling you this, because we have bats that takes a long time to get there. Just to give you an example, the Dudleys right now, the Bobby Nifong from last year, we haven't cracked one. And we're hitting that thing in 58, 60-degree weather, and we have not cracked one. And all of the newer, I'm talking about the Dudleys from a year ago, but I'm talking about the two-piece. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the new two-piece now. It's going to take a while to get them there. When we're swinging them, because they're not hot out of the wrapper, but when we're swinging those bats right now, we're seeing that we can hit them in 55, 65 degree weather, 62-degree weather. But those bats that get there quick, we can't hit them in 62, 65-degree weather anymore. So we're going to have to start and it's going to take longer, and I know it sucks, but it's going to take longer to do reviews, because, here in South Texas, we're just going to have to start, I'm on a shooter. We're just going to have to start going up to 70-degree weather. Because I think, this is just my opinion on what I can see, is a lot of you guys think 60 is the threshold, but it's not. And a lot of you guys are saying 65 is the threshold. Well, it's not anymore. It's not the 65 anymore, which I hear a lot of you guys going out there, well, I'm hitting my bat, it should be 65 degrees more. No, it's going to have to be 70 now, in the mid 70s, low end 70s, to get out there and start hitting again. Or you're going to go through the same thing you've done last year and have bats start cracking on you. And I know that sucks, because a lot of you guys pay top dollar to get a bat, and you want to go out and swing it in 70, 68, 70-degree weather, and it's we're going to have to change, guys. to swing these top performing bats. And this is just a trend. This is something that I just throw out there because I've observed all the video that we have from the bats that we have put cracks in or little shark tooths in, that we've got 100 swings on, and they are top tier bats, and I'm not excluding anybody. They all do it because, except for the Dudleys. Well, the Dudleys are thicker. It takes 400 swings to get a Dudley to loosen up. So my theory, this is just a theory I'm throwing out there. We're going to have to raise the bar, guys. We're going to have to go up to 70, 75 degree weather to start hitting these top tier bats, what I call them, these top performing bats. And another thing too, there's so much that goes in. A lot of you guys don't understand is there's so much that goes into when you break a bat in or when you start swinging a bat. It's just not the weather outside. It's got to be the weather in the garage. Like, you can have your balls sitting in the garage. You can have your bat sitting in the garage and you take them out. And guys, it could be 70 degrees, but if it's been 50, 55 in that garage, it takes a while for those balls to warm up. It takes a while for the bat to warm up. And then I'd look at it at like, okay, guys are saying, well, I hit this bat indoors at 75 degree weather. Well, where did you store the bat last night? Or where did you put your balls last night? Or were the balls, at D-bat? And how cold were they through the night? And that little bin that they got rolls around and it starts chunking them out of there. How did you go up and grab those and see how cold those were? So there's so much that goes into this shit. And when you guys are just looking at the weather and you go out there and D-bat and you crack a bat, well, shit, it's 75 degrees in here. Well, how cold were the balls being pitched to you? I go into it a lot deeper. And I think this theory that I came up with is we're going to have to raise the bar. We have to weigh the temperature level on every time we swing these bats. We're going to, and it's going to turn into, guys, we're going to have to start finding bats. That's how come we have the weight swinging on. Like I always put the weights on this. Like if you guys like this bat that I just did a review on, if you guys like this bat, you're going to have to find a bat out there that has those same swinging weights on it that I put on there. You can barely see them because of the reflection, but you're going to have to find a bat that has that same swinging weight on it and that has a thicker wall made an ASA or U-trip bat that you just go out and hit during the winter time, the fall, winter, early spring, and put a lot of cuts on it because it's not going to take anything to walk from that weight that you got from that ASA or U-trip bat right into this bat. Here's what I'm saying. It's just so hard. A lot of people don't understand that when I talk about that swinging weight. You got to get something close to your gamer swinging weight to swing in BP if you want to do that. That's how come I think Suncoast, when they're coming out with their ASA models, now are coming out with their ASA models. And you have Dudley that's coming out with this USSSA model, ASA model bats. If they're the same swinging weight as your senior bat, that would be great because you can swing those bats in BP. The DeMarinis even have on their Larry Carter, their Denny, they're having same bats, ASA and U-trip bats that have the same swing weight as those bats. So that'd be awesome to buy one of those. And I know it's going to run into a lot of freaking money, but guys, shit has changed. We can't be hitting these bats at 60, 65 degree weather and expecting to last when they're top tier bats. So we're going to have to look at other things to do. We're going to have to hit at 75 degree weather, 80 degree weather. And I know that's going to be a pain in the ass, but us guys in the South, I can only feel for you guys up north because we're down in South Texas where shit today it's going to be 78 degrees, overcast, though it's supposed to rain tonight. But we have the luxury of doing this, and we're going to change. We're going to hit in 70 degree weather from now on, and I'm going to see, I guarantee you, a decline in cracking bats or getting seam separations in them. And I guarantee you, I've already looked at the past video from the last 2 years of us swinging bats. And we haven't cracked a lot, but I can see a trend in 60 degree weather, 65 degree weather. We're cracking more bats than he would because I write everything down that we do, what the weather was the day that we hit. And that's behind the scenes because I have time to do that. So I see a trend in a lot of the bats that we're cracking at 60 top tier bats that get there pretty quick, like this one does. And they're cracking them within 60, 65 degree weather. So now my theory is we're going to have to go up to 70, 75 degrees, and we can do that in South Texas and start doing these reviews. For one, I think the bat will perform a little bit better because you're going to get a bigger trampoline effect. Barrel's not as stiff, So that's just my theory whenever I look at this, but everybody's going to have to change. It's just not, we're going to have to look for bats that have the same swing weight. That's an ASE or U-Trip bat that's going to last a little bit longer, that has the same swinging weight as your gamer that you play senior softball with. And I know it's an inconvenience for a lot of people out there, but that's something that's got to change. It's just one of those things where the technology has just gotten so good with these bat companies. We're going to have to do something different, guys. Thanks.